Mhm.
Yeah.
So how long would you say you were incarcerated for total?
Mm. I'm ashamed to even say it. Are you talking about on this one, or since my juvenile days?
Like
Talking about
since 18, how long would you say you've been incarcerated for in total?
mostly all my life since I was
Okay.
18.
Mhm. Mhm. Um and are you currently on probation or parole?
Yeah, I'm on probation and parole now.
Okay. And what are the terms of your probation and
My,
parole?
my supervisor, my supervisor, the terms and conditions on supervisor release is just reporting, no drug use, no violence, no fighting, none of that type of stuff. Just to maintain employment, all these, things. This positive. So I look at it, rules and regulations. Life is about rules and regulations. You know what I'm saying? In the terms and conditions of my plea, was more or less like to abide by the rules, to abide, you know what I mean? I got to abide by the law. You see, my plea agreement, that's what it was about. I broke law, and I had to take a plea.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Um
saying?
yeah. I'm thinking so how would you say your life is different since being incarcerated? Like how has your life changed because of being incarcerated?
It affected my life. It affected my life. Um, it has. I grew up in the system. I grew up spending more time in the system in the penal institution rather than spending more time with my own family. And I have a daughter, I have grandkids. Um, Once the system get a hold of you, and I'll just say it like this: once you start going down that path, uh, you'll end up either, the system is like probation and parole, as you were just saying. The federal, especially federal government, they'll tag it, what you call supervised release on you 5, 6, 7 years for supervised release. Some other thing, some people get life supervised release. Depending on the circumstance, depending on their cases or whatever. But I know the state a little different. State is a little different because on probation and parole, you get off parole within a year or whatever, you make parole whatever within a year, then you try to get off. But the federal, they hold you a little, they hold you a little different. They don't let you go in this country as people may think. It's how the system works in America. You know what I'm saying? How the prison system. So this is why so much repeated behavior. Now I ain't gonna say repeated behavior. I'm gonna say people go back to prison. Excuse me, and I'm not gonna say that everybody's perfect or anything like that. But it's just that they use the system, and I'll say it. I'll let them know that they use the system to keep you. How can you say to keep the American people not only in line? I won't say that, you know, but they use the system to. How can you? To me, it's all about money, power, and control,
Mhm.
and that's what they use.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I can see that for sure. And I know you were mentioning earlier that, you know, speaking about your faith and how your faith kind of has formed you into who you are today, and that kind, and like God is great, that kind of thing. How would you say your faith has impacted your life while being incarcerated?
Well, yeah, um, it had changed me a great deal because I had no other choice. You see, after so long, as I was saying earlier, and I was going to get to this point too as well, but as far as incarceration, they'll break you. And that's what the system is about. The system is about breaking you, if it can break you. If not, then you'll end up dead there, like a lot of friends that I know. The old saying, they bury you out back. That's what we were saying. But, and I have friends that's in the penitentiary, you know what I'm saying, they'll never be out. They'll never get out. You know what I'm saying? That's lifers. You know what I'm saying? I got a cousin, and it's just a Hazel's in USP. penitentiary, and that's where on this bit, that's where I started my bit. Every time I come in, I get they try to send me to a higher security prison because of the background. Are you with me? And that's what happened first. Now, what changed all of that is I just don't. I'm not gonna say I'm broken. I'm broken because I want to be broken. It's more or less like the change in my life. I guess as you grow older, and as you grow older, you begin to get wiser. You begin to get smarter. You have to stop bucking the system. Sometimes I was bucking the system a lot when I was coming up. I wasn't allowing the system to control me. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the system, I wasn't allowing it because I wasn't having it. I felt the system was injustice. I felt that the system was racist. I keep it real. I felt that the system was targeting certain individuals, certain people. You know what I'm saying? I learned that definitely. But they don't care. I mean, the system is the system. They're gonna keep the system the way it is. Only way we're gonna change is just somebody's gonna stand up, speak out, and reveal these things. So in order for people to see just what the system is about, their taxpayers' dollars is all about. When they see that, I think people we're getting wiser. But as I was going back to how change, I think religion changed me to the point to where I always believed in God, and I believed at that time that God was trying to give me a message. He's trying to tell me something, but there's another side of me. It was like, I'm not ready yet. I'm a buck a little bit because these people are wrong. They this and that. You know what I mean? I love you, God, and this and that, but I'm not ready to surrender, because when you surrender, then you can say be more. You be more humble. You be more tolerant. At that time. So being in prison and have religion can be very, very. I'm not gonna say that it can be detrimental, but I will say that it can definitely be your character have to change, because the Lord Jesus Christ he's a changing God. He'll change you. No one can change you. God can change you. You see, that old man, he's the old. Old things are new. Things are old. Now the things are new, and I became that new man as I began to start having a relationship with Christ. I believed in him, but there's a difference between believing and then actually by faith having a relationship with him. So I believe that's where my change came into play.
Thank you for sharing those experiences with me. Now I'd like to hear a little bit more about your personal religious and spiritual beliefs. But actually before that, I have some general questions about the extent of your exposure to Islam in particular. So when you think about Islam or Muslims, what comes to mind?
Can you repeat that question again?
So when you think about Islam as a religion or Muslims, what are some things you think about? Like, what are some things that come to mind for you?
Between different religions, like a Muslim or Catholic or different denominations.
Right.
I've learned that while everybody has a different belief, one way or the other. There are some people who worship the sun. There are some people who worship the moon. There are some people that worship the stars. There are always somebody but they are worshiping something outside themselves, because they know that there's something that exists outside themselves. They just couldn't come to exist themselves. So they could make themselves. Somebody made them. So my faith is my experience with the Lord. That's where my faith comes in. Other religions, I don't knock nobody other religions. I won't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I got Muslim friends too. You know what I'm trying to say? I learn from the Muslims. Matter of fact, in prison, what we do, Christians and Muslims come together sometime, and we would have certain events, especially on Black History Month. That's when everybody come together, because it's not just about religion, but it's about, it's a movement at the time, you know what I mean, for our Black African American people to get wise and to wake up, you know what I'm saying, and to look back and see how far we have come now, and what we're striving for. Now, when it comes down to the indifferences and conflicts of religion or our faith,